Ron Conti, 950B, Condo 21. Good afternoon. For those who may not know me, my name is Ron Conti. I'm president of HVMA, HVF, and I'd like to speak to you today as Ron Conti resident and explain to you why I voted not to reject the budget. The budget that has been presented for you to vote on is a very, very good budget. It represents difficult work done by management and the Finance Committee in balancing the needs of the village and also answer the residents' request to hold the line on the maintenance fee. I believe this year's budget does that. This year's budget calls for no increase in the HVF budget. Let me repeat that. This year's budget calls for no increase in the HVF budget and a 2.2% increase in the HVMA budget. The increase requested in the HVMA budget comes from the increase that is out of our control to handle. Those costs include insurance premium that increased by $325,000. That's $325,000 increase in our premiums for insurance. Our labor costs increase by 2%. And there are small things like the paint increase of $5 per gallon, cost dictated by the EPA as a disposal cost, and we use over 1,000 gallons a year to handle the various paint projects throughout the village. There are also increases in other contracts, everything from grass cutting to maintaining roofs. When all of these cost increases are taken into account, you come to the realization that the 2.2 increase in the HVMA budget is more than justified. I hope you will agree with me and vote not to reject this budget. If there are any questions that you feel I can clean up for you, do not hesitate to call me at area code 203-264-9644, extension 327, or email me at rconti@hvmaster.com. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Good afternoon. My name is Dave DeFelice, owner of Unit 756B, and I'd like to use this time to express my opinion on the proposed budget. As I'm sure you've noticed, HVMA is asking for an increase of 2.2%, but the HVF has a 0% increase going forward, and I commend them for that. As you know, we all tend to live in an inflationary society, and we've all been asked to tighten our belts. Over the last 5 years, the maintenance fees for the village have gone up 10.51%. In 2009, for instance, I have a Hawthorne unit, and our rate was $466. Today it's $521, and they're asking for an additional increase of $11, bringing it to $532. That kind of reminds me of the old frog in the pot trick, where they just keep on turning up the temperature and eventually boil the frog. However, HVMA is asking for an overall 2.2%, as I said, but for their own personal needs, as far as wages and salary, their increase is 2.7%. We as owners are not cash cows to be milked. And many continue to struggle just to pay their maintenance fees, on top of course, mortgages and taxes and utilities and the like. No longer can business be as usual with the HV. And as far as I'm concerned, the HVMA and the HVF should be seeking aggressively a new way of cost cutting. Now, I'm just going to give you a couple of examples, 3 quick examples. One is on competitive bidding, another is on preventive maintenance, and another is on internal reorganization. Let me speak to the first one. As far as competitive bidding, I think contracts for instance, trash removal, lawn service, snow removal equipment, sidewalks, repair and maintenance, security, Materials, liability insurance as consultants and the like should be a minimum of 3-bid contract. Also, for preventive maintenance regarding our properties, there should be an in-house upkeep of our vehicle fleet regarding lubrication, washing, basic tune-ups, things of that nature. Also, pothole repairs, the sealing of all kinds of cracks on sidewalks and in streets. Also, building inspections for damage, decay, or any infestation that we may have on an ongoing basis. And lastly, the internal reorganization. The HVMA and the VF departments can, I believe, consolidate many of what they have already in the way of their departments and making it more streamlined, as I alluded to. Also, there could be a review of their current policies. And if some policies and procedures are not in place, manuals should be made to adjust those particular requirements, especially in the area of capital requirements as far as purchases or projects. And finally, adhere to the current rules and bylaws. Well, I've just touched on a few things. I hope you will consider what I've said and remember to cast your vote thoughtfully and not based on the current status quo. I want to thank you kindly for your time.
Good morning. My name is Terry Sullivan, and I'm here with Paul Katzmark, the treasurer. We are officers of the HVMA and HVF. I live at 453A, and I am in favor of the 2015 budget. I can assure you that the budget approved by the trustees on August 15th showed the amount of $42,000 in the HVAA ambulance line. That was the budget approved by the trustees, and the money is there in the budget. It is important that everyone vote on the budget this year. As you know, the state law has been changed for the way Heritage Village votes on its budget. Only the ballots actually returned will be counted. We had a great turnout for the budget forum, and I hope that we have a great number of ballots that are returned this year. The law gives you the opportunity to reject the budget. Our state legislature acts in some strange ways sometimes, and this is one of them. You tell the trustees how to vote, and they approve the proposed budget, but then if you don't like it, you can vote to reject it. Every unit received in the mail a large 6x9 envelope like this, and inside are your 2 ballots, one for each the foundation and one for the Master Association, and a return envelope. There is also an 8-page explanation of the budget and the directions on voting. Let's take a look at that ballot. You will see that if you are in favor of the ballot, you will vote on this line to reject it, the top line. To not reject it, excuse me, let me get that straight. Say it again. If you are in favor of the budget, you will vote not to reject it. If you are opposed to the budget, then you'll vote on the second line, you will vote to reject it. Once you have marked both ballots, put both of them in the envelope. Before sealing it, you must sign and then print your name on the lines provided, which are on the back. Your co-owner must also sign if you are joint owners. Don't forget to write your unit number on the bottom line. All that information will be covered when you seal the flap. The last step is to put the envelope in the mail. The auditors must receive it before September 26, which is a Friday. It's going to Newtown, so mail it early. It may take a couple of days to get there. Be sure you follow the directions carefully. If you do not sign the envelope and write your unit number, your ballot won't be counted. If you haven't already voted, why not go get your ballot and vote as soon as the broadcast ends? Now, our treasurer, Paul Katzmark, will talk about the important items in the budget.
When we talk about the budget, they have done a very good job of explaining the line items in the budget. Not in total detail, but if you look at your budget on, I believe it's page, and I always have to check this out because I'm not too smart, but if you look at page 7 of 8, you will see the explanation of the detailed lines of the budget. These are summary lines, but they explain what's happening. The important thing to keep in consideration about the budget is, in effect, why does the budget increase? Budget increase is based upon things such as inflation. Everybody understands inflation. You go to the grocery store. The budget increase is based on the fact that we have some special items that have occurred during the last year. Those items basically are things like insurance. As insurance goes up, we have to put it someplace. This also means that in order to keep the budget in line, that some items are decreasing. The reason they're decreasing is because of the fact that the foundation or the Heritage Village Master Association will be in a position to do better services for less money. The objective is to keep services as they are today. On the other hand, we have to be patient and understand that it takes a great deal of work for our workforce to do these tasks. In order to do that, they have to be paid, and the net of it is that the budget is going up on a working basis of 2.02%. In order to do that, they have worked very diligently to address the different areas of the budget. If you have any concern about these areas of the budget, you can always call me. If you do not understand the line items or why the line items are what they are, you may feel free to call me. My phone number is area code 203-264-4980. I'm going to repeat that. Area code 203-264-4980. It is my hope that everybody takes the positive attitude toward this budget, and that they will find the best reasons why they should be in the affirmative to vote for this budget. But most important of all is that everybody gets out and does their duty of voting. Thank you very much for the day.